And Mr. President, just one last thank you from the men and women at the FBI. You found a way to get these individuals paid during a government shutdown, our 1811 agents. So on behalf of the FBI, it's a great debt that we owe you, sir. They're now allowed to pay for their families, so thank you.
And the military. Good.
That's right.
Thank you.
House Republicans shut the government down. Then they ran out of town. And for the last 3 weeks, they're nowhere to be found.
What a fucking disgrace. What did he really thought he was doing with that? Making his little rhythm rhyme. I mean, you are a disgrace. The hell with you Democrats. Did he really try to make a little rhythm rhyme?
Ran out of town. And for the last 3 weeks, they're nowhere to be found.
Oh my goodness. And then he got the pimp caveman. He holding his pimp cane in his hand. Look at Al Green. How did that impeachment go, sir? How did your Trump impeachment go? Y'all are sad and pathetic.
Everyone needs to understand that 1.3 million active duty service members would be missing a paycheck. They'll get their check, thankfully, because President Trump has shown strong leadership. And under his direction, the Department of War has now redirected unspent funds to ensure that our troops are taken care of. And this is while Democrats are playing political games. Last night, they played some games. They stormed my office. Maybe you saw some of the video online that they themselves shared, or someone did. They berated a Capitol Police officer, screamed at him. He was just merely standing his post. Shows again their disdain for law enforcement, as we see all around the country, the Democrats and everyone in that party screaming, assaulting ICE officers. They did it right here in the Capitol last night. A few members of Congress went into the little foyer of my office and tore down a sign that I had up and just engaged in all sorts of political stunts and antics. They've been doing that every day now, and it shows their desperation. It also shows a very strong contrast between the party that is working for the people and trying to keep the government open and do the right thing, and the party that is engaging in all this nonsense.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh boy, I couldn't wait to get into this. It's the meme of the day. Shuts down the government, shuts down foreign wars. Chuck Schumer up there crying. Our president keeping it G. Oh boy, meme of the day. But what's going on, family? I hope everybody that's tuned in right now that you are blessed, well, and healthy. You know, that you're having a great week, great month, great year, man. You're in good spirits. And things are going well in all you guys' life, man. You never know what somebody's going through. So I encourage y'all to continue to spread the love, man. You know, and what really kills me is how, you know, everybody wants to blame the big bad orange man for everything. You know, even the last 4 years under the Biden administration, it's all Trump's fault. That's what really kills me, man. You know, they want this man to be, you know, to do a million things at once. They want him to be the ultimate superhero, you know. When there's been a lot of wins with this administration, man, and even a lot of people are coming out and admitting that. And a lot of leftists are even talking different now and saying we can't deny President Trump's success. You know, I'm not saying everything in this country is beautiful and great, you know. Hey, it's a process. Things don't happen overnight, you know. This man was left a complete mess. I mean, a complete mess. Dog doo-doo everywhere. You know? And he's still fighting like hell. You know, prayers for Trump in the comments section, man. Prayers for America. Again, we are wishing the best in everybody's life. We don't care what side you're on. We don't care what you look like, where you come from, if you believe in the boogeyman. We don't care if you're liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican. We are wishing the best in everybody's life. That's the best part about this show. We agree to disagree. We call it off for what it is. You know, I might be one of y'all favorite journalists, comedians, however you want to call it. But I'm going to come on here and keep it real. You know. But we got this shutdown going on, and we got more updates, more things happening. I definitely want to get into this as Democrats get some brutal news after this shutdown ploy. Let's check it out.
To the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, friends, I've been a little bit hesitant to really go there. Of course, I've alluded to it, but I only had one poll to back up my claim. Now I'm just going to go on the record and say it. Something is happening. You know, right now, in this moment, Democrats are supposed to be building momentum. There's supposed to be a massive shift towards the left as all their rhetoric attacking the current administration starts to pay off as they target the typical pain points and make it seem as if everything is the president's fault. But that shift isn't happening. And no, instead it looked like it was going to happen for a second, and now it is totally reversed. You know, for months, the Democrats were really cruising on comfy generic ballot data leads. Let me just show you the average from RCP from early October, anywhere from +2 to +8. And I think Democrats really took these polls on surface level, and they decided they were in a position of momentum and strength, despite their approval rating being in the gutter, and despite most of these polls coming from the biggest, most dogshit pollsters in the game. And so Chuck Schumer thought that he could force a shutdown, take the country hostage, and help build that momentum. But now, it seems like it's totally backfired. We got the best pollsters in the game showing back to back to back that Republicans have now taken the lead and flipped some of these polls in generic ballot data, which means...
What I told y'all, man, it just gets worse and worse and worse for Democrats. You know, it's only going to get worse for Democrats. Watch what we tell y'all. And we are paying attention to everything that's going on. From the redistricting, for everything. Just watch how bad it gets for Democrats, y'all.
The number's probably even bigger than that. I think we're seeing all kinds of wake-up call moments from the left-wing behavior following the assassination of Charlie Kirk, now followed by Schumer's disgusting shutdown blackmail stunt, and now we're seeing momentum snapping hard in the GOP's direction. The numbers are not lying. A potential political earthquake might be underway. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I got 3 polls now. It was initially 1, now it's 3. Take a look at this shift. We've got RMG Research. They polled 9,612 registered voters.
And they put this on CNN this morning. They put these exact same polls up on CNN. It's not looking good for Democrats, man.
Keep in mind, not likely voters, so the number could be even bigger. And they're showing Republicans with a lead at 45%, Democrats at 43%. Then we've got Qantas Insight, the last poll before the shutdown. Democrats were +2 in their poll. Now Republicans lead at 43 to 42. Then we've got the last poll that I showed you guys, the McLaughlin poll, showing Republicans at 47 and Democrats at 41. And at this point, considering the RMG Research poll, which was registered voters, I'm even headed towards the thinking that McLaughlin might be the closest. You know, the reality on the ground might be a massive generic ballot lead for the Republicans. And of course, the question is, well, what changed? What changed recently, just in the last 2 weeks, that could have caused this shift? Well, I think the American people are finally seeing what the Democrats really are. They're desperate, they're bitter, they're radical. It all started off with the lie that Donald Trump is stripping healthcare from millions of Americans, desperate people. But the reality was, it's illegal migrants and people gaming the system, able-bodied people who need to meet work requirements. So they lied about it, got totally exposed, but then they doubled down. But now to make it a whole lot worse, people are realizing...
But hey, he's the big bad orange man. It's all his fault. We're losing everything. You're losing your rights. You're losing everything. Your healthcare. You're losing everything. The country's destroyed. Yeah. I tell you. You just can't make it up.
This shutdown stunt was actually never really about the money. It was never about policy. No, now we're finding out why they really shut down the government. Maria Bartiromo drops the bombshell.
Here we are entering a 3rd week of the government shutdown. Again, seems very, very small compared to what we're hearing from our commander-in-chief this morning. But I want to get your take on why this is happening, because the Smithsonian museums, the research centers, the National Zoo, all temporarily closing yesterday. Federal employees receiving notices that they will be laid off in 60 days. But my sources are telling me that the whole reason that the Democrats are doing this is because they want to be there for next weekend's No King's March. in Washington, where you're going to see these activists march in Washington this coming Saturday. One senator told me that the groups are threatening Minority Leader Schumer, telling him, you better do this and keep the government closed or we will make you irrelevant. And so do you believe that's what this is about? It's more theatrics than really any, marriage to these Obamacare subsidies?
Well, Maria, the American people are being held hostage by Chuck Schumer's poll numbers. Why did he go with a clean CR in the spring? What's changed is his poll numbers versus AOC have collapsed. And if in fact they are waiting for this No Kings protest, no kings means no paychecks. No paychecks and no government. And Maria, I think the dirty secret here for why this has dragged on for so long is the Democratic friends in the mainstream media have been downplaying this shutdown. And this is getting serious. It's starting to affect the real economy. It's starting to affect people's lives. They've been unable to stop President Trump in the courts, in the media. So now they are using a government shutdown to stop his initiatives.
So Democrats are continuing this shutdown so they can attend their far-left No Kings March. Basically, this whole ordeal is a performative theater act to energize their base. They're holding the country hostage so they could engage in their photo ops on the streets. They're hijacking the country, betraying the taxpayers, hurting families. Also, they could get their moment in the spotlight. It's sick, honestly. And I think it's all backfiring. I think people are realizing that the Democrat Party only ever acts cynically based on self-interest, not on the interest of the people. And the worst part about it is they use the interest of the people to frame their sick, cynical, selfish actions. We're fighting for you, when in reality, they're fighting for the next election. They're taking you hostage for their own benefit. And meanwhile, what's the president doing? He's securing a historic peace deal in Israel. He's bringing people together. The president's accomplishing actual good things. Meanwhile, Chuck Schumer's organizing his little No Kings tantrum rally. I mean, the contrast, I think, is so clear. And this whole strategy that Democrats smugly thought was going to benefit them politically, I think it is starting to backfire spectacularly. I just have this feeling that the universe is going to make this right, following Charlie Kirk, following the shutdown. Oh, and on top of it, Democrats standing by Jay Jones in Virginia, they're going to get politically punished. I just have to believe that. I'm an optimist. I believe in the good of the people. I don't see them getting away with all this. And now on top of that, add in the fact that President Trump just secured a massive deal in Israel. That's got to boost the GOP's image. Then you've got the redistricting war, let's call it. North Carolina is now unveiling a new redistricting map that adds another GOP seat. I don't know, my brain is telling me Republicans are going to run away with this midterms. And that right there is total collapse territory for the Democrat Party. How do you come back from that? This is supposed to be their moment, and they've done everything. They've sunk millions upon millions of dollars. They've exhausted every option. It's been nuclear option after nuclear option. They've bet everything on chaos, and now I think it's going to blow up in their faces. Their little shutdown scam has been exposed. Their migrant healthcare lies exposed. Their little No Kings rally play exposed. Their incitement to violence and support for political violence, or at the very least their dismissal of political violence, totally exposed. And I think come 2026, I just gotta maintain my positive outlook. People have had enough of this crap. They've had enough of the lies, enough of the theater, enough of the manipulation, the national
like we done said on the last 1,000-some videos on this show. Like we just repeat ourselves, man. People have had enough, man, of the exact same built BS, the exact same script.
Sabotage, and I think the momentum's shifting. What happened in 2024 seems to be replicating itself in a different way. Of course, it's hard to say 100% because the GOP in a midterm election is not Donald Trump. These are two completely different elections. The president is a whole lot more popular than his party, but I just don't see the good American people rewarding the absolute, frankly, scumbag behavior that we've seen from the Democrats. I just don't think that's going to happen. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got.
Oh, yeah.